I'm filming this right before Thanksgiving of 2022, and I thought it might be a good idea to do a video centered around how to manage holidays after you find out about the affair. So stay tuned and let's see if we can't get some great tips for you on how to not only survive it, but maybe actually enjoy your holidays. So we'll be right back. You know, holidays in general can be kind of stressful, right? I mean, if you have a big family, you get together, you have a lot happening. Holidays in themselves bring a certain level of stress for many people. If you are experiencing affair recovery right now and there's a holiday coming up, especially if there's extended family involved, it could pose some challenges or may even create inside of you some anxiety and or some possible PTSD triggers. So let's talk about that for just a minute. I'm sure there are multiple scenarios we could go through. I'll give a couple of possible scenarios that we may be enduring, and from those we'll come up with a couple of suggestions to help make this an actually enjoyable holiday for you. So, you know, one scenario you could be experiencing right now could be that your family doesn't know about the affair. Y'all maybe made a decision not to tell anybody, and that's a valid decision. So if you've chosen not to share this with your family, and this is the first time you're around them since finding out, this could be very challenging, especially if there's a chance your family may start asking, hey, we haven't heard from you a while, how have you been? Or hey, we noticed you haven't been posting on Facebook lately, what's going on? Or they might start, you know, talking about what a great couple you guys are, or whatever. Whatever it is, there's always opportunity for someone to say something inadvertently, I mean, not meaning to upset us, right? But inadvertently upsetting us because we're triggered. Or on the flip side of that, maybe we chose to tell our family about it. I chose to tell my family, and it was very awkward. The first holidays after that were very awkward. My family was kind to my husband, but there was a tension in the air, and it was really hard to manage. So maybe you're in that situation where your family does know, and you're just really uncertain about how they're going to treat your husband. Either way, whether it be you don't know how your husband's going to be treated, or you don't know if someone's going to say something to trigger you, or I've even had someone ask the question that, I mean, their family doesn't want the spouse to come with them. Like, I don't want your husband there. We just want you to come, you and the kids. That is a whole other layer. Either way, surviving the holidays, especially those first big holidays after you find out about the affair, is all about trying to figure out how to manage potential triggers. It really is. And I have an idea I want to share, and this is going to depend on the fact that your husband is involved in your affair recovery, is part of the solution, is trying to do their part. If that is the case, then what I'm going to invite you to consider this holiday season is to invite your spouse to come alongside you. Invite your spouse to be part of the solution with you. And here's what this will look like. The two of you sit down and be very frank with them that you're anticipating some pretty scary triggers. You're anticipating there being something that's going to spark emotional stress for you. And therefore, you may need a minute. You may need to go in the other, you're anticipating probably needing some space at some point in time, or potentially you might need to leave altogether. So you and your husband sit down and have this conversation. Express to them your fears and your concerns, okay? And then the two of you come up with an action plan that includes a code word. And here's how that would look. So, for instance, if You are triggered by something that someone says, whatever it may be. You choose a code word, let's say, and it's got to be something that wouldn't normally be spoken in a conversation. Let's say it's kumquat, because that's just a fun word. So kumquat, or shenanigans, or something that you wouldn't be like throwing out in a typical conversation. If you say that word either just to him or out loud, that is his cue to run interference for you. So let's say you're talking to your sibling, and they're sharing this great trip they just went on, and it just so happens to be a trip that you took with your spouse, but you realized after the fact that he was messaging the affair partner while you were on that trip, so now you're super triggered. Okay, your sibling has no idea you're triggered, but you're triggered big time. So you say, excuse me a minute, and you say, hey, sweetie, oh, shoot, shenanigans. So remember what we were talking about earlier? And then that's your husband's cue to go, oh, that's right. Yep. Hang on just a minute. Why don't you go look and see if you can find your phone? And then you go and you walk out of the room, and your husband runs interference with the family. Yeah, we were talking about something earlier, and, she has to look it up now or she's going to forget it. So she's gone to look for her phone. Make sure you put something in another room so you have an excuse to leave, right? If you need a minute, like if you just need a minute. And that's what that looks like. The same, however, will go for your husband. If, he's nervous about going because he doesn't know how your family is going to treat him. If he needs a minute, he needs to be able to say shenanigans, kumquat, whatever, and to get you to run interference for him. Now, that's just if you need a minute. If you need to leave, and that's okay, by the way, it really is okay to leave a family gathering. Your family will get over it. Your mental and emotional health is more important. So if you are just too upset and you got to go, you come up with a separate word that means full stop, got to go now. And you come up with a story in advance. Either you're not feeling well, your husband has a work emergency, whatever it is, you come up with something in advance, ready to go, that you agree upon, and you have each other's backs, and you leave if you need to leave. Okay. Bottom line in all of this is just be a team, be together in this. Really help each other figure out how to do this in such a way that you are, that you got each other, and that your family doesn't know what's going on. Okay. So have each other's back in that. You can use this not only for the holidays. This is a very great strategy if you are going out with friends, whether they know about the affair or not. And if you're out with friends and something happens and you get upset, he gets upset, whatever, you've got a code word and you support each other. Now, granted, if you are in a situation where you're trying to stay in your marriage and your spouse is not that supportive and does not want to work with you in that way, I get it, and I'm sorry you're in that situation. Everything I've talked about here really needs two people to be working together. But for many of us, we are in that situation. And I encourage you to think about that. A plan helps you feel more in control, so you don't really fear the triggers quite as much because you have a plan. And the more you can lean into the security of a plan, the better able you are to enjoy yourself. I really hope that if this is your first Thanksgiving or your first Christmas or whatever, after the affair, I really do hope you can find some joy in the holiday. I know how you feel. I had my firsts, and I had my firsts again after more D-days. So I know the pain you're experiencing, and I know it's hard. But there is joy to be had if you prepare. So that's what I'm inviting you to do. I have been in your shoes. My situation may not be exactly like your situation, but I have been in your shoes, and I am a master certified life coach. What I've chosen to specialize in is working with women just like us to recover from and heal through infidelity and help mend our marriage all at the same time. It's a big task, and I'm here to help. So if you're looking for a coach or someone to walk that journey with you, I would love an opportunity to talk with you. I offer free consultations, and the link to that is below. I invite you to sign up. There's no obligation to sign up with me, but if you actually are looking for a coach, looking for help, I would love to talk to you and share with you how I can help you. And I even offer some coaching on the call for you. So if you are looking for a coach, please reach out and make an appointment using the link below. And again, wishing you whatever joy you can find, and I hope you find some this holiday season.